The Chat Trap.
A very good morning to you. Hope you are having yourself an amazing day so far. It is a beautiful Monday, and like I always say, Mondays can be really, really tough to cope with, okay? But listen, what we're here to do for you is to give you the best of information and it's to kind of give you a bit of encouragement so that you can deal with your Monday better and you can overall be super informed and entertained as well. And if you're just tuning in and if you are new to Relax Radio, well, then we are here to give you the best of information, the best of content 24/7, 365. We're here to just make sure that you are as happy, as motivated, as positive as you possibly could be, because that's what Relax Radio is about. Relax Radio is about making sure that you are excited for life, that you have the best version, that you become the best version of yourself, okay? And I know Mondays can be really hard to deal with, but don't worry. Even if you're driving, if you're getting ready for work, if you're just at home, make sure that you have us in the background because we are going to be talking about some very, very interesting things today. So make sure that you tune in, make sure that you become a part of the show. And if there's anything that you want to talk to us about, if there's anything that you want to add to whatever we are saying, all you gotta do is leave a comment down below if you're listening to us on any of our social media platforms, or you could very simply call us on 07852 Now, I am Jamie, and I'm going to be with you for about 3 hours talking to you about the most exciting things that you definitely need to know about. So make sure that you tune in, make sure that you let me know how your day is. I want to know how your weekend went. Did you have a good weekend, or was it as exhausting as the weekdays? How was your weekend? And let me know because I feel like I had a good weekend personally, just because I was able to kind of relax just a little bit. I was able to look at my life in a way. I know it sounds really cringy and I know it sounds really cheesy, but I was kind of able to step back a little bit and look where my life was going, and I feel like that was really, really helpful. And that's definitely something you should try out as well. I hope you had a fruitful, relaxing weekend. But if you didn't as well, that's okay. Just make sure that you do whatever it takes to become the best version of yourself. And I feel like a lot of that also includes you becoming a person that you like to associate, if that makes any sense. But don't worry about it because today within the show, we will definitely get to it. And we're also going to be talking about a lot of interesting things, especially with regards to this idea of ghosting people online. Now, I am a Gen Z, I am a millennial, and Andrea is going to be joining me in a little bit as well. And we wanted to talk to you about this ghosting culture. If you don't know what ghosting is, it has absolutely nothing to do with real life ghosts. It's more of like ignoring people on social media, which is something we really need to talk about. And I also want to talk to you about, how you present yourself on social media, your like cues, your, what you portray, the image you portray on social media is another thing that I will be talking to you about within the show today. So there's a lot of interesting things that I will be talking to you about today. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. Make sure that you get on board the show. Like I told you, I would love nothing more than to know how your weekend went. I would love nothing more than to hear your opinion, to hear your thoughts. So go right ahead and let me know by calling me on 07852 or by leaving a comment down below. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button because that is definitely something that I would absolutely love to. It would show me that you are enjoying what we are giving you, or even if you're not enjoying, make sure that you let us know what you would like to hear us talking about, okay? Now, with that being said, to start off the show, I know it's a Monday, like I said before, I know it's hard. I want to talk about this concept of talent. Okay, now you're probably going, well, there's really not much we want to hear about talent. But listen, okay, I always had a very huge controversial question with regards to talent, right? I never understood why some people were given loads of talent, like they were extremely good at singing or they were extremely good at whatever they excelled in, whereas some other people just don't have talent. And I was always curious, why do some people have so much talent and why do some other people have absolutely no talent at all? But what I want to talk to you about today is, I feel like it's going to sound a little cliche, but it's definitely something that you need to hear about, okay? And it's about this idea that everybody has a talent, and it's just that some people haven't found the talent as of yet. Okay? Now, okay, start off things, I believe in this world, people belong to three categories, okay? People either, the three categories basically are people who have talent, people who know they have talent, and people who actually use their talent. These are the three categories that people belong to. And I feel like when we were young, when we were just starting out our high school or college, or when we were just starting our secondary education, I feel like we had so much more passion. I don't know about you, but think back to your younger days, right? Think back to when you were just out of school, or just before you finished school or your education. You had so much fire, you had so much spark in you. You knew what makes you feel alive. You believed in your dreams. You knew what you were good at. You knew your specialties. But I feel like often we kind of forget our talents when we choose a profession, because we base it merely on education, or we base it merely on like the paycheck that we receive. And because of that, I feel like as we grow older, we kind of forget what we are good at. We kind of forget what we are, our specialities, right? I don't know about you, but I truly feel like that's a truth in many people's lives. Now, as we grow older, I feel like we neglect our interest, we neglect our talents, and that's the moment when our talents essentially start vanishing. See, I believe that talent is never static. It's always growing or dying. So, if you are somebody that asked yourself, what is my talent? What am I good at? If you doubted yourself, if you had any talent, which category you fall into, what I want to do is within the next couple minutes kind of discover with you about, or rather explore this idea that every single person has talent. This is kind of what I want to talk about with the next few minutes, and I really want you to be a part of the show, because if, like I told you before, if you're somebody that has kind of asked yourself questions like, oh, do I even have a talent? Have I even been given a talent? Do I know how to use my talent? If these are questions you ask yourself, well, then this conversation is going to be very, very beneficial for you. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. I want you to be a part of the show. Call me up, let me know what you're thinking, because that would mean so very much to me. Now, with that being said, first of all, I want to remind you that every single person has talent, okay? Everyone is born with so much potential. You are born with potential to live, to be extraordinary, to live an extraordinary life. But I feel like a lot of us, unfortunately, we settle for what's ordinary. When someone asks us what our talent is, we think for a while and say, we don't have talent. We've not been given a talent, so we make use of what we have, and we do a normal corporate job, and we just barely make enough to be able to live our day-to-day life. But I want to remind you that every single person has talent. It's just a matter of moving around until you've discovered what it is. In most cases, a lot of us haven't even tried to explore what we are good at. Everybody is unique in one way or another. Even if you examine a person with disabilities, or, even if you examine somebody with different abilities compared to us, well, you are going to find that there's something special within this person. So what I want you to remember is that you should never, ever doubt your existence in this world. You are not in a position in which you have nothing to work with. You already have so many capacities. You have so many talents. You have direction in your life. You have a mission. You have a calling. But I want you to remember that most of us sometimes just forget this. We rather forget to use our purpose. We forget to use or explore our talent, our direction, our mission. If you don't use things for a while, you are suddenly going to forget about them. So the same is going to happen with your talent. If you forgot something that was your specialty once, when you were small, if you thought you were really good at something, but now you just don't think you're talented in anything, it's probably because you didn't use your talent for a really long time, and it just faded away. So, what I want to try to tell you within the next couple minutes is I want to try to teach you how you can identify your talent, how you can identify your passion, identify what you're good at so that you can use your talent. I know that it's not always easy. Not all of us can sing and get millions. Not all of us can use our talents to make millions and get famous. But that's not the point of it. Trust me, coming from a person that kind of uses my talent to essentially do what I love, or coming from a person that uses my talent to give me direction in life, I can promise you that sometimes when you use your talent, your life is going to feel complete. So even though you have a really good job now, if you do like a 9 to 5 job that has nothing to do with your personal specialty, your personal passion, your personal talent, I promise you that when you find your talent, you are definitely going to get there. So what I want to talk to you about within the next couple of minutes is what you can do essentially to find this passion or find that fire or spark in you so that you can, become a better version of yourself. Right? So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. I have a lot more that I want to share with you. So make sure that you keep it tuned. But right now we are going to go on a little break. But when I come right back, we will be talking about a lot of interesting things.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah. So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be? So that there's a goal, and then work backwards. How do I get there? And if I can start with £50 or $50 a week, if I save that every week, and you can go online and use calculators online. I don't have to teach you the maths behind it, but you can say, okay, and if I get a 3% return and I put this away for how long will it take to reach my goal? And that's called just this basic cash flow projection calculations. And it's what we use in financial planning all the time. What we say to clients is we say, okay, what is your goal? What is your objective? Where do you want to go to? And we discuss that in a lot of detail and over most of the meeting. And then the rest of it is saying, okay, in your exact circumstances, with your risk profile, with how you feel about investments and pensions and taxes and where you are and who you work with, and your education level or your lack of education or how involved you want to be. There's a lot of variables that we take into account, and then we say, okay, here's a plan. You start like this, that's great. And then we review it all the time. And we say, okay, we need to increase it, we're on track, we're not, this is what is happening. Because remember, when you're dealing with assets, the valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's a struggle. Yeah. So there are strategies everywhere from £50 a week up to £100 million, and they're different. Right? They range differently from everyone, but and from country to country, to be fair. Different countries have different tax laws, so with different vehicles. But from your point of view, at the sort of normal end, I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies, and then you step up into different things.
Welcome back to the show. Hope you are having yourself an amazing day so far. A very good morning to you. I know it can be kind of tough to get back on track, especially on a Monday, especially if you had a busy weekend, if you had a chilled out weekend even. I know it can be kind of tough to get back into the groove on a Monday, but one thing, like, we spoke about this last week actually. One thing that I do want you to remember is that you need to give yourself space. You need to give yourself time. You need to go easy on yourself. So make sure that you remember these things. Make sure that you try your best to give yourself some time to readjust back into the week. Do things that you like. Celebrate little moments in life, because I think that's one thing that all of us forget to do. That is extremely important. You need to find little things to celebrate. It can be something as small as the tiniest work achievement, or the fact that you woke up on time, or the fact that you called somebody that you put off for a really long time but finally got to it. Little things like this can definitely these are things that you need to celebrate about. Celebrate little achievements, celebrate little goals in life, because I can't even start to tell you how important that is. So make sure that you get to it on a day-to-day basis. Make sure that you celebrate the little things, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's all that counts. So make sure that you celebrate as much as possible. Make sure that you live your best life, because we have so many things, so much negativity in the world, and I feel like we can get all the positivity that we possibly could. So make sure that you give yourself that space to be as positive as possible. Make sure that you give yourself that freedom to celebrate life and to be as positive as possible. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. I have a lot more that I do want to share with you, and we are going to have some amazing things to talk about. So make sure that you keep it tuned. I want to hear you. I want to hear your personal opinions. I want to hear what you think about. I want to know your stance on the things that we talk about, because I feel like every single voice definitely counts, okay? And I want to know what exactly you are thinking. So go right ahead, call me up on 07852473473. Make sure that you connect with me. Make sure that you voice out your thoughts and your opinions, because that is super duper important. Okay, you get to share your thoughts, share your opinions with everybody out there. You get to use your voice for a good purpose. So make sure that you use us as like that bridge that connects to you with all of the people out there. So make sure that you call us up on 07852473473, or you simply connect with us on our social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We go as Relax Radio, and we are out here giving you the best of conversation and motivation to get you started with your day. Now, with that being said, let's get into the conversation that we were having on earlier, and that's with regards to talent. Okay, I know a lot of people out there. The reason I actually wanted to talk to you about this was because I was talking to a couple of my coworkers earlier on, and a lot of them said, "Oh, look how unfair life is." They said life is unfair because some people, this is also something that I've thought about quite a lot. Some people are given so much talent, some people are given so much capability, so many specialities, and some people just don't have any special outstanding talents. And how is that fair? How is it right that some people get so much and some people basically get nothing, right? Whereas I kind of did some reading into it, and I came across this amazing article that basically explained this idea of talent in itself. It said that every single person at the end of the day has a certain level of talent. It's just that a lot of us kind of forget to use it. A lot of us haven't discovered what we are good at, or if we've discovered it, we don't put in the time and the effort, the hard work that it takes to essentially build up on that talent. Yeah, so I feel like that essentially is the case. It's definitely a question I've had. I've always looked at people who've use their talents, who are amazing at what they do, and I always think, oh, I wish I was that person. I wish I could be as talented as they are. But I came to realize that talent essentially is something that's unique to every single person, which means that every single one of you, including me, have our own talents. It's just that we need to put in extra time. We need to put in extra effort to essentially develop on that talent. Okay, so what I want to do within the next couple minutes is to talk to you about how you can use your talent, how you can use this gift that has been given to you. I completely understand that. Okay, first of all, I want to ask you a question, okay? Think about when you were younger. Think about when you were small, maybe just after school or just before you finished your education. you were really passionate about something. Think about that thing that like made you extremely excited about. It can be something as trivial according to society as gaming, or it can be something like music, or whatever it is. What excited you? What kind of made you excited about life when you were younger? Now, that excitement, I feel like as we grow up, because we are so focused on finding a job or a profession or a career that is centered around our education, or that's centered around how much money we get, we kind of forget about these talents. We kind of forget about what excites us. For example, a lot of us do corporate desk jobs just because we need to pay our rent. We need to we need to feed ourselves. We need to feed our families, and we end up doing things that we're not passionate about. And I completely understand that. I completely understand that the most important, yeah, it's amazing. Doing what you're passionate about is absolutely amazing. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to feed yourself. You need to be able to have a roof above your head, and that requires you paying rent. That requires you paying mortgage, and that requires you doing a job that will give you good enough money to be able to do that. So I feel like as we grow up, it's not that we lose talent, it's not that we lose passion, it's just that we're focused on so many other things like social relationships, like our jobs, our careers, our profession, our education, that we kind of forget what we're good at. We kind of forget our passion. We forget to develop on what we're passionate about. Now, that's what happens. It's not that people don't have talent, it's just that we forget what we're good at. We forget our specialities. So, one thing that I want you to do, I've told you this before as well. One thing that I really, 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 really want you to do, because I genuinely want you to be happy in life. Okay, for all of us here at Relax Radio, our ultimate goal is that you become the best version of yourself. And I truly believe that becoming the best version of yourself is not merely living in a mansion, or being a household name, or being a celebrity. That essentially is not success to me. And I've explained this concept to you before. For me, success is you being able to live with yourself, you being able to be happy about the kind of person that you've become. And I think that has a lot to do with you finding this passion, or you finding this talent, right? So one thing that I want you to do, if you have a job that doesn't involve your talent, but you're just doing it because you seem to be good at it and because it gives you good money, that's okay. I completely understand that. But one thing that I do want you to do is, when you come home after work or during the weekends, just make a little time to kind of explore your talent. It can be, again, I want to remind you that a lot of people think being talented is either being able to sing really well or being able to be an actress in Hollywood. But there's so many other things that people are talented about. If society doesn't have people that have your talent, it's just because it hasn't gotten to that point yet. Okay, so what I want you to do is, whatever that you're passionate about, it can be something like collecting stamps, it can be something like gaming, whatever it is. At the end of the day, figure out what you're passionate about, figure out what makes you feel alive, what kind of time passes and you're like, oh my goodness, it's been an hour already, I did this for the past hour. Figure out that thing in your life and spend at least an hour a day developing on that, right? Figure out ways in which you can find a community of people that kind of have similar interests as you. So if you're gaming, for example, I absolutely love gaming. So as opposed to what society thinks, it definitely can be a talent as well. So find out a group of individuals who are like-minded. Find out a group of individuals who are also, talented in that same specific field as you, and connect with them. Ask people, oh, how do I improve? What can I do to maybe make a buck out of my talent? What can I do to better myself in this, respective version? So that's definitely one thing you can do. So if you have a talent, first of all, explore it. Figure out what you love to do, explore it, find your talent, and use your talent. Because I don't know about you, but for me, honestly, I don't think that there's any satisfaction that equals to the satisfaction of you doing what you love. Like what's the word? The sense of pride that you get when you do something you love, when you succeed in something you're good at, is so much different to you succeeding in something that you don't really care about. So if you find your talent and you succeed in, and I don't mean millions of subscribers, I really don't mean that, but like you being in a place where you're happy with your talent, that kind of satisfaction, that kind of self-pride is absolutely incomparable. And that is what I want you to absolutely achieve in your life, okay? And to do that, follow the steps that I told you. Figure out what you're good at. Figure out what gives you that spark. Figure out what you're passionate about and do whatever it takes to work on it. Now, with that being said, we're going to head on to a little break, but we have a lot more interesting things to talk about. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio. I am Jaimmy, and today we're going to be actually talking about something very interesting with regards to your digital body language. Okay, in a time where a lot of things have moved online, today I want to talk to you about the do's and don'ts of digital body language, digital online behavior, what you can do to be more presentable, to be more polite when you send an email across or when you send a text message across. Just do's and don'ts when it comes to the digital. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying the word digital, but yeah, what I'm going to do is to be talking about what you could do to be more presentable, to be more polite, especially when you deal with people in an online platform. So that's definitely coming up. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio. But for right now, we are going to be taking a little break. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio.
Now, there's a lot of conversation around who pays more taxes, if it is the rich or if it is the poor, right? But when you are basically going out and during a day, you go to a restaurant, you have to pay taxes there. You buy a car, you have to pay taxes there. So why is it even a conversation that, the rich pay less taxes or the poor pay more taxes? Why is it a conversation like that?
Because it's true, the rich generally pay less tax. A rich person walks into a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's, they're not going to get a different bill than another person, right? They're still going to pay the same VAT on those goods, they're still going to pay the same thing. So that's all the same. However, the differences come in if you can pay yourself from your own company, you can structure it in a way that you pay less income tax through paying a bit of salary, paying dividends and so forth, and then also deferring income. Also, your pension payments or contributions can be different. So that increases your tax sort of gap, if you want to use it that way. Where a PAYE person just gets paid salary and bonus. And now those are the most highly taxed sources of income in the UK, definitely, in the UK. We've seen it, right? If an owner of a large public traded company does something wrong, irrelevant of what that company does or how valuable that company is, the stock generally falls into a pool of nothing, right? Because in a public company where the stock is traded openly on the stock exchange, the value of that stock is driven by supply and demand, it's driven by emotion, it's driven by news, it's driven by quite a lot of variables over and above the actual accounting or total net worth of that company. I mean, we've seen it, right? If an owner of a large public traded company does something wrong, irrelevant of what that company does or how valuable that company is, the stock generally falls into a pool of nothing, right? And the company may still have value, it may still be doing quite a good things. One of the easiest ways to increase your net worth is to ensure that you have higher cash flows. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to not buy things on hire purchase, not buy things over months and months because you can't afford them now, but you want it. It's kind of that delayed gratification. Rather than buy that couch, that car, that stereo, that computer, whatever item, and pay it off over 12, 24, 36 months at an interest rate, rather invest that money, make do with what you've got, And then after 12, 24, 36 months, take the money that you've now invested and buy that good. An asset could be anything that appreciates or reduces a tax bill. So it could still be a liability, but it reduces their tax bill. And I'm not going to go into the technicalities because that's out of our remit here. However, for our use or our purpose, what we are talking for the listeners here is I would put this definition of an asset forward. An asset is anything that increases your income. Anything.
Now, there's a lot of conversation around who pays more taxes, if it is the rich or if it is the poor, right? When you are basically going out and during a day, if you go to a restaurant, you have to pay taxes there. If you buy a car, you have to pay taxes there. So why is it even a conversation that, the rich pay less taxes or the poor pay more taxes? Why is it a conversation like that?
Because it's true, the rich generally pay less tax. A rich person walks into a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's, they're not going to get a different bill than another person, right? They're still going to pay the same VAT on those goods. They're still going to pay the same thing. So that's all the same. However, the differences come in if you can pay yourself from your own company, you can structure it in a way that you pay less income tax through paying a bit of salary, paying dividends and so forth, and then also deferring income. Also, your pension payments or contributions can be different. So that increases your tax sort of gap, if that, if you want to use it that way. Where a PAYE person just gets paid salary and bonus. And now those are the most highly taxed sources of income in the UK, definitely, in the UK.
it again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Me, why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son.
I want to talk about, how the generation gap, how much has changed, especially when you check the youth nowadays in comparison, to people back in the day.
I'd say when I was younger, it was more disciplined. Not now.
In comparison to now.
Not at all. Not now. The way things are nowadays, the younger generation, you seem that they can't accept the word no. If that makes sense. They can't
accept rejection, essentially, is all you're trying to say.
Yeah, they can't accept the word no. So if you, how did I do? Well, you didn't do very well. And they get upset, And when I was a youngster, my father used to say to me, because I used to be sport mad when I was very young. Well, I still am sport mad, but like participating in different sports. And if I had a bad game, for example, I'd say to me, you had one to forget. That's it.
Your dad sounds like a smart guy. I mean, that's the real fact of the matter, yeah.
He'd say to me, you had one to forget. Get over it. And that was it. So I'd dust myself down and do it again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Me, why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son. Or daughter. I've just told them that they need to buck their ideas up.
That's the truth right there. I mean, if you think about it, if you check the generations, like right now in the US as well, I've seen a lot of these things as well. In the UK, you get medals for participation. But what's the point? What are you trying to? Yeah, what's the point? Either you win or you lose. People are so afraid to put that whole notion of lose. When it comes to right now, the generation gap is just crazy. How much. A lot has changed. Social media has taken control of our lives, and we don't even realize it anymore. We're crippled because of it.
That's absolutely right, Nick. Because, as you said, nowadays it seems that you get rewarded for failure. For the life of me, Nick, I can't get my head around that. Perhaps I'm just getting old and morbid. I don't know. I just can't get my head around how you could be rewarded for failure.
The Chat Trap.
A very good morning to you and welcome back to the show. Hello, Andrea. How are you?
Hi, Jamie. I'm good. Like today, my morning was a bit chaotic than usual, but I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. I had a very, I would say, refreshing weekend and got to catch up with friends. So that's amazing. Why was it chaotic for you? What's going on?
Oh my God. Here in London, some of the train lanes change it. So before I just get used to change the line 4 times per day. And now I need to change 8 times. And that's a lot.
No. Oh, that's gotta suck. How long did it take for you to get to work? I'm assuming this is
before 40 minutes, but now 1 hour and 15 minutes.
No.
I know.
I'm so sorry your Monday morning's going like this, but I hope it's going so much better for everybody listening in. I hope your Monday morning's not as bad as Andrea's is. But one thing we can guarantee you rather, is that we are going to give you a very good time here at Relaks Radio. We're going to make sure that no matter how chaotic, no matter how stressful your Monday may seem, we're going to make sure that you enjoy as much as possible and that you are updated with regards to every single thing that is going on. I am Jaimmy and we got Andrea on board as well. And we are going to be with you for 2 more hours or more actually, talking to you about some very, very interesting things. So make sure that you keep it right here on Relax Radio. Andrea and I both would absolutely love it if you could be a part of the show, okay? For us, there's nothing more important than you getting on board the show, you telling us what's going on, because we love that. So go right ahead, call us up on 07852 or very simply leave a comment down below if you are listening to us on our social media platforms. Now, with that being said, Andrea, I don't know if you heard about what I was talking about earlier on, but I was talking about essentially finding your talents, right? And I was telling people how important it is to kind of explore what you're passionate about, to kind of explore what you're good at, right? But before that, I feel like it's important to talk about Mondays, right? I know we've had this conversation before, but I've told you that one of my least favorite days of the week is Monday. Like, if we can like skip through Monday and just like get to like Tuesday or Friday, even better. I absolutely love it. But that's just not how life works. We need to kind of figure out how to deal with day-to-day life. And do you have any tips on, what we can do better to be more productive, to be more efficient on Monday? Because I know according to like textbook and according to like professionals, we're supposed to be most productive on Mondays because we've had a 2-day break.
Yeah.
But I know that's not the case for many people. How is it like for you? How do you deal with Mondays? Do you have any tips? Because I know you wake up at like 5 in the morning every day and you gym every day, which is not something I could do. So I want to know what is your motivation? What helps you to be as productive as possible on a Monday?
One thing for me that really works is that I don't leave everything to do on Monday. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna clean my house, I'm gonna do this work and all that stuff on Monday. I just try to just do between the week and don't stress me on Mondays.
I think that's actually, we spoke about this last week as well, and I actually tried it the next which is today. I tried. So what I did was, like you said, I tend to procrastinate a lot, right? So for me, it's just like during the week, if I can't do my laundry, if I have schoolwork to do, what I do is I'll do it on the weekend. Don't worry about it. I got 2 days, and then 2 days just goes by so fast, and I feel like I don't even have time to like relax, and I don't even have time to take a break because I'm so busy catching up on like chores, like household chores and cleaning my room and just catching up on the week's thing during the end of the weekend or during the weekend that I kind of don't have any time for myself, and that's really frustrating. So when I started, I told you that I had a refreshing weekend. It's because I kind of tried what you said, right? I made sure that I did like the day. For me, it's mainly like household chores that I leave for Saturday and Sunday, and then I end up cleaning my house and cleaning my room on Saturday that I don't have any other time or energy to do anything else. So definitely, I think that's some of the best advice we could give people. Make sure that you don't leave everything for Saturday and Sunday. Keep Saturday and Sunday exclusively for you to kind of bond with yourself, for you to relax and do something that you like, as opposed to simply chores or office work or catching up on your schoolwork or whatever it is. So Andrea, that I think is a really, really good tip.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I think that when you just leave everything like to do on that exactly day, you just end up being stressed by everything because you say, okay, I don't have enough time to do this. But if you just split that during the whole week, you are gonna be free on the weekend, like saying, okay, I did all my stuff during the week that I was more busy, and now I can rest in peace. Like,
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you. And trust me, I've been there in life. Like I told you, I procrastinate a lot, so I leave everything for the weekend. So one thing that I've learned is, split everything up during the week and just use Saturday and Sunday to take a break, because I think it's super important. No matter how much, I feel like young people these days, Andrea, we have this like ideology of like hustling, like working 24/7, just like gym, working, get home, work, sleep, and like it's glorified. Like everybody thinks it's such a great thing, which hard working is amazing. But I always tell people that there's a difference between working hard and overworking yourself. Right? There's a huge difference between the two. And I feel like a lot of young people, especially, I do it quite a lot. I work, and just like this mentality of overworking, the culture of overworking rather, is so glorified. I feel like it does have a negative impact on us. So it's so important to kind of take Saturday and Sunday to, take a breath, to just relax, maybe watch some Netflix, maybe, cook some things, have some time for yourself, call people that you love, connect with people that you love, connect with your friends, just do things to kind of reward yourself on Saturday and Sunday. And I think that is super important, especially when you're getting back to work on Monday, because you kind of have that extra boost of energy. It's like all the coffee in the world if you relax on Saturday and Sunday. You know what I mean? It's just something that I feel like people really, really should do.
Yeah, I completely agree. But also, I think that, as you said, like not because I when I do nothing during all day, I feel bad. As you said, like to
Girl,
overwork. I know. I feel like, oh my God, I'm doing nothing. I need to do something. Like I at least try. I don't know, to clean my bed or something like that.
I
Because I don't
I
like to procrastinate, but I don't like to overworking. So I don't know how to deal with that.
So like, okay, oh my goodness, yeah, I totally have those moments. I am a busybody myself. Like, I like to do something at all times. So like what you said, like you don't like to just do nothing. Which is same with me. Like at the end of the day, I'm just like, Jamie, like what did you do today? You did absolutely nothing. You were on your phone. You watched a movie. You made some food. How is that doing anything? And I feel so guilty. Like at the end of the day, I'm just like, I wasted so much time. I could have worked, I could have studied, but I feel like that again goes back to this whole mentality that society has kind of taught us. This like overworking culture, like, oh, you're supposed to be doing something at all times. It's like this, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like this mentality that has been forced into us by society. We live in a very like industrial, corporate world, and I feel like society always tells us that, oh, you need to be doing something at all times. So that it has got so bad that at some point we kind of, we feel guilty when we take some time for ourselves, but that definitely shouldn't be the case. You definitely need to have some time for yourself, even if it means doing nothing, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it, because everybody needs to just relax and catch a breath, because none of us are robots. None of us have superhuman abilities to, work 7 days of the week. So I completely agree with you. I definitely feel guilty at the end of the day, especially on a Saturday if I don't do anything. I feel so guilty, and like at the end of the day, I'm just like, no, I need to do some work, and then I'll end up working till like 2 in the morning, which definitely
What?
has negative.
What?
Yeah,
Good
I
morning.
told you I work in the night, and it definitely has such bad impacts on like especially my social relationships, because I don't have time for my friends. I don't have time for like relationships in general. But yeah, I just want to remind everybody that it's okay. You're going to feel guilty for the first few, especially if you're somebody that loves to work hard, and if you're somebody that works all the time, you're going to feel guilty if you take some time off for yourself. But you definitely need to find that balance with working hard, but also giving yourself time and not overworking. And also make sure that you don't do nothing and just slack off all 7 days in the week. You just need to find that balance. I think that's what's most important.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. I think same as you. But I can't believe night at 2 in the morning. What are you doing at that time? I'm
Work.
sleeping like
You wake up at 5 in the morning. That's impossible for me to do every day.
but
Like,
waking at
uh-uh.
2 a.m. That's another level. Like my
Okay, okay.
body
To
is
be
burning
fair,
things there.
bad. You said that your friends think that you're much older than you actually
Yeah.
are, because we go to sleep at 10 a.m., which is very weird to me, because 10 a.m. is not a time to sleep. Okay, I feel like we're setting really bad precedent. We're setting really bad example to people. No, you need to sleep at like a
Eight
normal
hours
hour,
at
which is
least.
10,
Yeah.
10:30, and wake up by like 6, get your 9 hours of sleep.
Mm.
Just do what's good for you. I know I'm taking the advice as well. Okay, I'm taking the advice as we go along, so don't worry about it. And with that being said, I think we should go on for a little break. But when we come back, we are going to be talking about a lot of interesting things. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio.